So in order to solve cubic equations, there's two methods you can use. You can either graph and use synthetic division, or you can factor it out. So with this equation, we're going to use factoring in order to solve. And before you start solving any cubic equation, you need to make sure that it's in standard form, which is shown there. So that would be ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d equals 0. So our equation is x cubed minus 4x squared minus 9x plus 36 equals 0. So it's already in standard form, so we can start factoring. So from x cubed minus 4x squared, we can factor out an x squared. So we're going to write that. And then in parentheses, we'll put what we have left. So if we take x squared from x cubed, we're left with x minus 4, because if you take x squared from negative 4x squared, then you just get negative 4. And from negative 9x plus 36, we can factor out a negative 9. So again, we're going to put that on the outside. And in our parentheses, we'll go what remains. So taking negative 9 from negative 9x gives you x. And taking negative 9 from a positive 36 will give you a negative 4. So when factoring, you always have to remember that you do still need to pay attention to your negatives and positives, and that still equals 0. So as we can see, we now are left with a common factor of x minus 4, which is in our parentheses. So now we're going to combine x squared minus 9 in parentheses. And that multiplied by our common factor of x minus 4 equals 0. And because, again, we are looking to solve for an x, and we do have an x squared, so the differences of that two squares can be factored. And so we're going to now factor x squared minus 9, and we can factor out x plus 3 and x minus 3. So we're going to have x plus 3 in parentheses times x minus 3 in parentheses. Because we all know, again, by using FOIL, which we learned about earlier, if you FOILed x plus 3 times x minus 3, that would give you x squared minus 9. So we're basically just breaking it down one step further. And multiply again by x minus 4 in parentheses, because that stays the same. We did not change any of that because we didn't need to. Again, is still equal to 0. So now that we've gotten it down to just x, we can find our solutions. And they're going to come from our parentheses, but one thing you have to remember is that when you're finding the solution, you just need to change the sign. So our answers are going to be x equals negative 3, x equals 3, and x equals 4. And that is how we solve.